Call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Counselor Ross?
Present.
Counselor Gibbery?
Present.
Mayor Levine?
Present.
Counselor Levine?
Present.
Counselor Thronson?
Here.
Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You make this harder to get out.
Okay, first up, consent agenda. Any discussion?
I have a few items. Correction on the minutes, and that is with Ellen Johnson on the bottom of the first page. And top of the second page spelling, that's what I have on the minutes. I don't know if anyone else had anything else. Other than that, I was good with things. And I would like to also pull the city claims for corrections.
Which claims?
It's claim number 1143, and I believe it was tax on that one. And 1146, tax 5240, and then claim 1166, and there was a credit of 9353, and that was paid as an amount. The total bill or invoice statement was 2029 on 116.
Any others?
1171 is off the amount, and the MediaCom 1168. And then credit was on 1166.
Yeah.
1152, there's, just check on that charge that's on the statement.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Back to Counselor Thronson on the minutes on the bottom of Ellen Johnson. What is it?
ALAN.
ALAN?
It's a second. There's the first one and then the second.
Anything else?
No, other than that, I'm good. I'll make a motion to pass a consent agenda with the changes that have been stated.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion carried. Number 7. Under unfinished business, review the quotes from overhead door and dynamic doors for the attic building. All right. For overhead door here. This is the one
Mayor
that came
Levine?
in. Yes,
I think you had advised the council to go down and take a peek at that building
yes.
to decide what you wanted to do.
Everybody get a chance to look? Tanya, you can look at these.
Yeah.
Susan, were you down there?
Yep, I took pictures.
I did not.
You didn't get to see it?
Want me to?
Sure. So do we have 2 quotes then? 'Cause there's only one in here.
There's one in here, another one came. We did have that in the packet.
One was
He gave it
11,000.
to-
Oh, is it in the new packet?
So here's one in the glass.
It came at the end of the meeting last time.
So that's one of the doors.
One was dynamic.
And then this is that same door, and this is that. It's just- And then this is the south door.
Okay.
And this one's routed there and routed there.
Okay.
And I did it a little bit closer, it's totally routed through, and that's why the glass is installed.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I'm in favor of doing one door still, kind of the way we had talked. I want to see what we end up doing with the building, but I know that by looking at them, there's glass missing on that one even completely. And I'm concerned about the safety issues. Shut that other one off, but it's used. So that's just my opinion. I don't know how the rest of the council feels.
So what is the exact cost then? Is it overhead door was almost 20,000?
There's another one. I
What was
don't,
dynamic then?
Okay,
that was
so,
11,000 something?
Yeah, it's like 5,600 a door.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 5,
Does that include operators on those too?
yes.
Well, a little over 11.
well, here's the quote.
But I'm still in favor.
Yeah. So one, Eric, do you have the quote?
I found the overhead door.
You provided the second quote at the meeting last
It
time.
was here, it was in my last packet.
Oh, I didn't pull mine forward.
And that one was 11, well, you're right, 11,000, little over that.
11,000
From Dynamic.
dollars, I believe it was under 11,200. That was the complete, I just remember
Right.
56.
75 and 39.
And did it matter if it was insulated or not insulated?
The building isn't heated, we just use it for cold
But the
storage.
price didn't.
For skid steer attachments, snow plows, things of that nature. The mowers are in there, you know, so they're not sitting on a wood floor.
A little over 11 from Dynamic.
That's for two doors?
Yeah.
And I think your discussion at the last meeting was would it change if it was just one door? Would the quote change?
No, I thought you said that it was the same. I think it says that on there, that it stays.
Start, you're saying you just want to put one door, I don't care.
Counselor Johnson was in favor of just changing one door.
Okay,
So the question, I just was wondering if the price would change if it's just one door versus two
Oh.
doors installation.
they said,
Okay.
you know, if we decided to do one, I asked both of them. If we did one now and one after the first of the year, is the price gonna change? And they both said no. So,
That's what I remember you saying.
Okay, I'd like to throw this out there, if you're thinking about paying for doors, if that's what you want to do, don't forget, it needs a roof too, which is probably gonna be, I don't know if you get it done for 30,000, would you?
We had bids on it, but I don't remember. I'm thinking,
It went up
Mayor, maybe we could
considerably.
just keep an eye on it, and that's what I've been doing. And if they have to come up with some more tar and whatever gravel, because that's the old style roof yet.
And then the wall,
That wall, I will fix. It won't happen until the spring now, the cold
it's
weather.
been fixed before, that wall. That's why the door's gone, the man door is not there because the wall was caving in. They put a bunch of,
That corner,
yeah, the whole wall, there was, like bolts and
that's
stuff.
for the brackets that hold the Christmas decorations.
Is that what that's doing? Yeah. So I don't know, there's a lot of extra money here. I mean, if we throw it in there and we get rid of the building, we're out $11,000.
No, 5. We're only doing one
Yeah,
door.
okay.
Can you pass that back down, please?
So while we're looking, can I ask a couple questions?
So,
Oh, go ahead, speak your piece, that's what we're talking about. So,
Well, I don't wanna.
I'm not saying I'm not voting for it,
No,
I'm just bringing up things down the line that are coming with it.
Well, and the thing is we're all
These-
juggling
these are
multiple
the-
thoughts in our head at the
Mhm.
same time. So Eric, so like when I was down there on Monday,
So
you felt pretty confident that you could repair the wall?
Absolutely.
At least give it a try to repair it.
It will lock that together.
They wouldn't be able to do
Around
a
the
chain
wall
thing
both
on
ways,
inside.
3/8 rebar horizontally
You know, like,
and vertically.
pulley
And, just do it in sections.
Rather than
Do the bottom first.
automatic.
That wall continues down below grade.
Yeah.
It's got a
Because
process.
it's 2,000.
So, or
Yeah,
down there,
2,000.
rebar in there, up so far, and we'll tie it in, I'll drive it right in. Get that little jackhammer line, that little electric jack, that jackhammer will drive rebar right in the bed joints, right straight through.
So Eric went through, Supervisor Sundquist went through this with me on Monday, when I was down there and told me of his plan. I would like to support your plans because you know what you're talking about, and I personally do not. And what you said made sense to me. I do think that all of our buildings have been neglected over and over and over, and right now we don't have we have the 2 buildings down there, 3 actually, and there is no other, that we have to maintain the ones that we have, unless we're gonna start from scratch and knock it down and do it over. So I would be in favor of 1 door for safety. Other repairs, in my mind, contingent on whether or not you can successfully fix that wall. If you could fix the wall, I would say that structurally, the building could probably work. It's not that, I'm shocked that it was left the way that it was. When you stand and you look into it and there's a big gaping hole, I can't believe that it was left like that and people it's been continuing to be used. The hole's like this, all the way down, you can see it. To turn on the heat in there right now would be just a waste of money. It would just go right out the back. So if you're not gonna heat it, you're not gonna do anything with it. The doors are super old, they're wood. The glass I saw, I mean, I'm sure they've been there a long time, but I think we have to be sensible about it.
It
That's my
won't
take on it.
be a real expensive thing if we do it ourselves as well. We will mix the concrete in our own mixer and, dump it in there. I mean, it gets to be a little bit more of a project, and if you got a truck with a conveyor and you open up the top of the wall and just let it walk to the wall, but whatever, we can control the cost by doing it this way, mixing it ourselves.
Well, and the
Wash,
reason,
sand, rock, and Portland cement.
yeah,
I'm ready.
and I will say the reason I also support is because that is you've done several cement
Yeah.
projects. I think you know what you're referring to, what you need to do with that part of it. And so I just, that's that. And of course, in my back of my mind, I'm always wondering about the money part. So I assume you
I
know,
got a question.
like the budget wise, where the budget is at to know that we can afford that.
Okay, so kind of what happened at the last meeting was a discussion on this based on the Balin property. So I kind of like to maybe get an update on that building versus before we start doing, if we're gonna buy that at some point or whatever, was it in, I'd like to hear the report on that before we decide what we're gonna do on this. That's just my thought. If you guys went and looked at that, so
Yeah.
can we get the report on that?
Really don't wanna separate it. You wanna sell it as one piece, the
Oh,
house and the garage, the 2 garages and the big garage or whatever they have there. And they shot us a price of 140,000, but he did say he'd come down off of that.
Hmm.
But then we would have to buy that and sell the house.
okay.
So, I don't know, people will be bidding on it, I suppose, when
Yeah.
it comes up for sale. We could look at it then again.
I mean, was it decent shape or is it old or is
It's
it?
older, the house is very old. We didn't go in.
But I mean,
and look at it, but I
I'm
know.
just the building.
The building, the garage is pretty decent shape, it's not perfect,
I mean, is it just a standard pull building?
that's all. But he
No,
does.
Or in
slab?
He has a slab and,
Okay.
and one part is insulated,
Mm.
so you could heat something in there if you wanted to.
So
I
in
don't know what-
your opinion, is it worth it
It's
or is it easier
probably-
just to kind of maintain this building and not even deal with that property then? or-
45, 50 years old, I don't know.
You're very
It
close.
was there when I started working on city.
How old is the city's pole?
pole barn
Is that
was?
there when you
That was
started?
there when I started. So I don't know when Wayland was built before or after the city building, I'm not sure.
I'm gonna say really close to both.
So, yeah, you're looking at close to 40 years old, so. I know all the skylights on top look, I think they look very, they need to be changed probably.
Yeah.
You know how they get this plastic, you get some, eats them up. I don't know, 25, 30,000 is all I give for the garage myself.
But they don't want to split, so. at
They
this
might, they don't know what they're gonna do for sure,
Okay.
so.
Well, I guess based on that, it would be about 5,700 if we did one door and the opener. So another question I had, do you need to have the opener, or would you be able to access from the inside and do a chain lift? Would that be cheaper?
Well, you're gonna say the cost of the operator.
Right.
which was
30,
2,000.
yeah, $2,000. So I mean,
But how much is the chain? 1,000?
right, I don't know how much that would be.
I don't either, I didn't get
If
that.
it's
I just
even.
figured with normal operators,
Okay.
Is there operators in there now?
Yes. So the wiring is there, that was very easy.
Okay.
And they're going with the cheaper style operators, not the type that's right on the end of the shaft above the door. These are the old school ones that,
Okay.
it's got a trolley system, they call it. That the motor sits up in the ceiling, not, so it's a cheaper route to go. The wiring's there, everything, yeah.
In your opinion, is it worth putting the door on? One? At
I
least one?
definitely think so. That building, to me, what I know about buildings, you can't compare a pole building to that building. I can fix that wall in that corner. 100% sure, and then you guys will get an idea what needs to be done at the fire department as well. Now, if you're building a block building or putting in a block basement, you have to core fill the walls. That's what you have to do by code. So back when these buildings were built, you didn't have to do that. But
Mhm. All right, well, I don't know.
'Cause that building's pretty well packed full too, isn't it?
Yeah.
oh, you know, because it's got a floor. You put
Not
things
yet.
in there
We're gonna speed
without
it to
floor, you
death.
put things on there, you don't have to, so they just rust.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we buy, one door at this time, and get that replaced for safety purposes is my main thoughts on that for our employees.
And the one opener.
And the one opener, sorry.
He's buying one door from where?
What's the one?
Dynamic
Dynamic.
garage door.
Okay.
At what price?
No.
7, I think.
Be 75.
And I'll support it if there is any other, there's no other questions.
Any further discussion?
55.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll figure it out.
Seven point two, discuss benchmark engineering punch list for joint sewer project.
I can bring a couple of things here too.
Thank you, Alan.
So, did a punch list swap for Vicky and Garrett, earlier this week, last week. And it had a couple items on there, haven't had any correspondence with, utility systems on doing a punch list walkthrough as well, or when that comes to complete. Some of these items that have been on here, I did have some correspondence with them with regards to a payment this week. Sounds like that's progressing, I'd love to know. But I did bring in this packet, last meeting where we brought some change orders to the council. There's a change order 2 that was not approved, that was for installing a backflow structure at the wastewater treatment plant. So I had to revise change order 3 to reflect the current contract price. This is just an updated, you guys approved this, the change order 3 was approved at the last meeting, I just updated the paperwork so the contract value is correct on it. So I just want to bring that to you. And then change order 4 was for, this is new, this is invoice for when the fencing contractor hit the unmarked electrical service to the wastewater facility. And they brought to my attention, there was a abandoned gas main that they were working around that was not shown on the plans. And working around it, they ended up breaking a fiber optic cable. So there was some downtime in there, most of it's related to this abandoned gas main. So that, them 2 items, what I put together, want to share. I know this is in your new agenda or new business agenda, so I just want to share this stuff with you. For your next council meeting.
That invoice is from June of 2022.
Correct. So I had a discussion with them about it, and, so when they do, every contractor is to go over one call. Utilities get marked, an abandoned gas main would not be marked, so they were digging around it, assuming it was an unmarked utility, why? Trying to be careful and expose the fiber optic cable in there in a rock roll and damage the cable. So there's a lot of downtime around this gas main that was not depicted, I guess.
I don't remember any of it. Eric, do you remember anything on that?
Why wasn't the fiber optics marked? They hit the gas line, you know?
Yeah.
The fiber was, yes,
It was,
yes.
but no, I don't remember that. What's going
I
on?
don't know either.
So this is a claim I wanted to, I guess, bring to your guys' attention as well. I got this, I discussed it with them. Like I said, I know it's not on your new business. I don't know if you can act on it, but
So the damage was a damage to a fiber optics line that was marked.
correct, but the claim they have isn't really so much the fiber optic, it's working around this abandoned gas main that nobody knew was in there. And they found out it was abandoned after the fact.
Either way, I don't know how that comes out of the city.
But that doesn't make sense when you dial the 811,
Correct.
all right? And everyone has to sign up, every one of them, utilities, gas, MediaCom, whomever.
Correct.
So I'm not following, I would like to look at the 811 call and see who, yes,
I could see if I can get their.
you understand what I'm saying, because I'd like to see who signed off on it.
Correct.
To me, something doesn't seem right.
I can, like I said, that's why I want to bring this one.
Yeah, and will you look, Eric, back in our records, if there was 811 where you had to do, you know, in June, sometime in June down at the sewer plant for sewer water, you know what I mean? I just think, why not look
I don't
at
think it was
those?
at the sewer plant.
This was
This-
all on the highway.
It was out on the
Oh,
highway.
oh,
Yeah, it was
okay.
at the railroad area.
One of the railroad
Oh,
crossings.
okay,
So it wasn't nearby here.
No.
okay, I thought it was down there, I misunderstood you.
I just don't understand how, if it wasn't anything to do with the city. we'd have to pay for it.
So because it was unmarked, so it's an abandoned gas main, it wasn't flagged for, call it a planning ticket, it wasn't flagged for, a go for one ticket. They found it in the field while they were trying to, doing crossings out on the railroad tracks is the explanation I got. And, so you're trying to dig around it, not damage it, and then not damaging the fiber optic nearby.
That's not.
So they're asking for their downtime.
They're still digging.
It's not a large utility.
You could have, you're telling us this, okay, but we don't know. Understand, did you happen to go there and look at it?
I have some notes, I dug up in there, yes, some of this happened.
Because they could have hit that line digging, you know what I mean? And then following this gas line, and using that to get out of, you know,
This?
the line. That,
Same.
Yeah.
we don't have any idea that we should have been notified immediately or something. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it's came out of the straw hat.
That's what that picture.
Did I in the hat.
Okay, so that's what I have as an update.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Thank you, yeah. Good information.
So,
Thank you.
So we already approved this change order? The 3?
Yes. You just need to.
7.3, Glacier Park lease update from Attorney Lindsay.
Thanks, Mayor. So we've got, with the Glacier Park leases, we've actually got 3 independent but related issues going right now. We've got 2 assignments that need to be processed through. Those assignments, I've asked that they be put on the council agenda for the next meeting to be approved between now and then. I'll get them approved by Mr. Walto over at Glacier. The second issue that we've got is we've got the 5-year extension that's coming up on the city's lease that will run from 24 to 29. There's a draft document circulating out there on that. I want to talk to Chris Walto just a little bit. And then finally, in conjunction with that 5-year extension of our lease, we've got to look at updating all of the individual leases that come under the city, or subleases, to get all of those updated and move forward. So what I would expect is we'll have the 2 assignments on the next agenda, possibly with the 5-year extension, and then the balance of the issues coming before the council at the second meeting after the next.
Anyone have any questions? Okay, we'll move on to 7.4, update from Attorney Lindsay regarding joint sewer project.
Thank you, Mayor. At one of the last meetings, I was asked to write a letter up to the Joint Sewer Authority. I have prepared a letter, but I've got a couple of revisions. I've received some additional information, and so I'm revising that letter one additional time. But essentially, the purpose of that letter is going to be to collect some additional information, maybe to get some answers about some costs that we're being asked to pay, especially during those time periods when we weren't receiving any service. So we're going to need to collect some additional information from the Joint Power Authority related to employees, who's working for the Joint Power Authority or the board, who's been contracted, and what steps we're taking to put those folks in place, and how time is essentially being tracked with those employees, and what time is being dedicated to the Joint Power Authority and what time may be dedicated to other entities, the city of Nashwauk or so on. Because there is a provision within the contract that indicates the default rule is that each city will maintain its own systems and facilities and will employ its own employees to do that. And if we move away from that rule, there's a set of hoops that we've got to jump through about authorizations and contracts, job descriptions, and the like. So we'll get a letter together to get that information collected so we can address some of those charges that they're levying against us.
I got a question.
What's that?
Have you been to any of their meetings?
I've been to one,
One.
but I've been reviewing the minutes that have been coming out of it.
Okay. So I think at the last meeting, wasn't there a proposed contract with Lone Pine?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay,
To move forward with bonding and stuff like that.
okay. But their contract is not the same as our contract.
No.
So why?
That's addressed in the letter.
Okay,
I asked that very question.
all right. Okay.
Well, there was discussion on stuff with the bills and all that. We didn't bring it up in the main thing, but I talked to the engineers after the meeting. And what they're telling me is they're saying that when they made this agreement, that they decided that both engineers, Alan told me the same thing, that the cost of running that place was gonna be $250,000 a year. No, I've never heard that in all the time, but,
No.
we always thought it was gonna be cheaper
Yeah.
to run.
We were told that,
Mhm.
And
not
I've
got
asked,
told.
I've asked the girls in the
The key
office
word.
to try to find out exactly how much it cost us to run that plan for 1 year. What we were paying before and now what we're paying.
Mhm.
They were saying we were paying over 200,000 a year, and I just can't see that.
Never did, it was
We
never in
weren't
the
taking
budget.
in enough money at $25.
No way.
That's what people were paying before they raised it to 38 once the system started.
Right.
So there's a lot of stuff we gotta check into and get our ducks in a row before we sit down and hash this out.
But I mean, even if you look at the people service contract, we were paying 120,000 a year. And if anything went wrong, whatever that might be, if you had to put 50 into it, well, you're at 170. So right now, with what the bill we got and the payments that we have, we're at least 200. If
Now
not-
we are,
yeah,
but we weren't
right.
previous.
No, we weren't. So, yeah, there's just not,
So it's gonna be higher until
Yep.
Gilly comes in, or Lone Pine. And they'll be paying a third of that cost.
if that's in their contract.
It's in there.
It's in the joint power agreement.
Okay,
It's in there.
well,
There's a division of the standard assessment, that $10,000 becomes 15, it gets half between two. So our general assessment would drop to 7,500 from 10,000.
One of the big issues.
but we're still stuck paying the bond.
Right, we're stuck on that
So,
no matter what.
yeah.
The only thing we got an argument about is, should we have paid the 68,000 last year that they billed us? And should we be paying anything before August 15th, when we weren't
Right,
hooked up?
we weren't hooked up.
Because what I've gotten from other people have told me to ask that question, because if Keewatin is responsible for paying when they're not hooked up, then how come Lone Pine isn't
Right.
paying?
Yeah, they should be paying right now.
So there were some people that took some steps back when that came out, and we'll just have to try to work it out, figure out what we gotta do.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Thanks,
Thanks,
Brian.
Brian. Yep. Okay, 7.5, we've discussed a little bit, Balaam property.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's going on there. 7.6, review implementation of finance charge on credit cards. Pamela?
That's me. So yeah, I asked Beth to put this on the agenda again. Susan has had it on here a few times prior. It's just getting to the point now where everybody is charging to use a credit card. When you go to eat, no matter what you do, you're getting some type of fee. And I think this was in the League of Minnesota Cities book this time, and so I made a copy for everybody. We can look at it and decide how we want to proceed. There's been some conversations that I've had with the clerk. There's a lot of people calling in to use their credit card. It's a lot of work to have to do that versus them walking in the door. And my main concern with it is the fraud. You don't know that person is using their own credit card. How would you know?
I thought we put out a letter to people that said that they couldn't do that anymore.
We talked about it, but it wasn't done yet.
Okay.
So that's my big concern too.
Okay.
I mean, people are calling in, but I think if they don't want to come to the office, then they should sign up for the PSN and do their payments online or whatever. That's just my thought. It's taking a lot of staff time to process those over the phone.
And I'll add too, I don't nearly know as much as all of you guys with the bills, but I will say that fee every month sticks out like a sore thumb of how much the city pays.
Yeah.
And it's probably close to $10,000 a year that we lose by not
It's
charging
more.
anybody with
Yeah, I
that
think
fee.
it's
That's
more.
on the
It's
low
more.
end. So it's a considerable amount of money.
We can't afford it.
No, and it just, everywhere charges for that, and they give people the option. Like it says, I read this just quickly, but they always disclose, you could pay cash, or you could pay more and you get this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even when I bring my dog for
Yeah.
boarding, there's a fee for a card.
Yeah.
It's like, $10, but that's the convenience fee of using a card.
Right.
So,
So I guess, maybe we should bring this up at the next meeting, and look at exactly what PSN is charging us. If someone goes in, is that more expensive? Do you know about offhand what they're charging? Do you know? Like, so if PSN is the one that, or whatever, it looks
It
like we're
is,
gonna be
it's-
changing to something else
Yeah.
now, new fee.
Possibly.
Okay, so if that, people are going to use that, maybe we look at not charging the fee, but if they're walking in the door to use their credit card, then we should charge the fee. I don't know, just a thought. Doesn't mean we have to do it.
Yeah.
But because going online is, it's a convenience. Granted, they're using their card and we're still having to pay that fee, but maybe it's an option to start out easing them into something.
Well, the holdup when I had brought this up months ago, it was January and February.
Mhm.
And then it was gonna go to financial meetings that never happened. Beth was in the works of talking with the lady at the bank. And I don't know whatever happened with that woman. How all that worked out. It was something with the charge machine.
Oh,
Do you
they don't
recall
have
that?
that anymore at American Bank. It's someone different.
Park
now.
State, yeah.
Or Park State.
Or Park
Yeah.
State,
It's a
yeah.
third party.
But something with the machine in there, cause that's where our goes to Park State Bank. And I remember something being said that, and then I don't know whatever happened,
So currently, the charge credit card machine that you have is not updated, supported by any software.
Oh,
So we're just running it out until it dies.
Oh.
We do have in the budget for next year, $5,000 to replace. It's because we know it's gonna,
the bank doesn't give us one?
no, Susan.
Oh,
They did. They used to. That's how you first signed up for them.
okay,
They no longer do that.
Yeah, they came and brought you the machine.
okay.
Yes,
And now they're not doing
they
that
don't do
anymore?
that, no.
Okay. I'm sorry, I misunderstood that, and I haven't talked to you, Beth, about it, so I wouldn't have known that. Yeah, so that's interesting. I thought they were still doing that.
So are we eliminating the use of credit cards altogether, or are we just
No.
putting a fee on it?
it's just,
We should look at doing a fee. I mean, I think most places are 3.5.
I pretty much use a card 100% of the time, it's about 3%.
Mhm.
Some places are 5.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, most of them have a disclaimer right there, and it just kind of spells it out here too, go get cash then. There's a cash machine over there, but
Yeah.
then you're gonna pay, even if you go downtown and get it from
Yeah.
St. Clair, you're gonna pay $5 to get $20. So it really just, I think with all of the stuff that we always change, going back to, the initial, we can send out a letter to people and just say, hey, these
Mm-hmm.
are your options, these are what you're doing. The gals in the office, they're not gonna be doing the fun stuff.
Right.
It's too big, they're too busy.
And I think I'd like to do a motion on that right now and
Yes.
get that in the next billing, that there will be no longer payments of credit cards over the phone.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that.
Yeah.
I would support that.
And then, I don't know if we want to bring this up again, or if we just want to implement, or we want to wait and see what the charges are for online, doing it through the, whatever, PSN I'll call it. Otherwise,
Well,
Or
if
do you
it's
wanna
set in the budget for next year, 5,000 to get a new one,
but you would still need it here,
need it here.
if someone came in and wanted to use their credit card. Because we're not a limit, yeah. So that would just be for in here. But if they wanted to go online and through the PSN program and pay their bills that way,
That's how, I do.
if we should have a charge for that
Oh, I see
or
what you're
not.
saying.
Yeah,
I don't think there should be on that. I'm not charged by using it, but then the city
we
is
get
charged.
charged, yeah. So that's the
Huh.
convenience.
I'd like to
yeah.
think on this a little
Yeah,
bit, trying
that's
to
what I think.
understand this.
And maybe get
Putting
some
it-
numbers and costs.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what
Okay.
I think too.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to direct city, the public utilities clerk and the city clerk to draft a letter to be put in the next bills that will be sent out, and starting January 1st, there will be no credit card payments over the telephone.
And I'll support that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
And then I'll make another motion that we review the credit card fees at the next meeting.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. All right, 7.7, adopt resolution to apply for and accept funds from Minnesota Pollution Control Agency for heavy-duty off-road equipment grant.
Mayor Levine, you made a motion
Yes.
to do this, and here is the resolution.
We didn't have the resolution last meeting,
So
so
you're-
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 7.8. Approve clerk to draft summary regarding Jarvie property for Hibbing City Council.
Mayor
Not me.
Mayor Levine, you go ahead.
Yeah, Hibbing is, thinking about maybe giving us a tax on that, but we have to present it to the council and so to put it up for a vote. So it's looking positive from what we heard and so we might possibly get it.
I just
So
hope
we gotta go through the hoops. There's system.
What is the process for annexation? How long does that usually take? Do you remember when we did that, Tanya?
I think you have to have a public hearing.
Yeah, it was for Olson's when we took them from Nashwauk Township. Were you there then? Were you still over here? You weren't?
Yeah.
Okay, because that was out for Olson's then, right?
No,
No?
and it was when Nashwauk Township took all the way to Keewatin. City of Nashwauk, and next from Nashwauk Township, from there all the way to the border of Keewatin.
Oh, I don't remember that.
So they
Okay.
own everything from
On the backside.
that way, yeah. It's
Yeah.
now City of Nashwauk.
So can I just ask a quick question? What would the letter entail?
A summary as to where the city of Keewatin is looking to develop potential in the future. We don't have to develop it now, but the possibility, the need for housing
Okay.
in this area.
And the only reason why I ask is as I am aware that this has been ongoing for years, well, maybe not 20, 10 years now. So I was just curious, because I know that it always gets held up with, we need to come to one of their meetings, and then we don't get invited. So
This is the step.
this is
This
the
is
step,
it.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Mary Levine and myself met with the administrator for Hibbing and the mayor. We had a sit-down meeting here, and then they went back, discussed what we had to say, and now they've approached us to go ahead, go do the next step.
So it's drafting a letter or whatever for the intent to
Just
purchase.
to let them know.
Yeah, okay.
I'll make a
motion.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the clerk to draft a summary regarding the Jarvie property for the Hibbing City Council.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. New business, adopt resolution for 2023 delinquent public utilities assessment.
Could I speak on this one?
I hear you.
Can I speak on this?
Yes.
Okay, last year, we had done a, resolution, 2022-50 resolution, and it was to add administrative fees of $25 to each account. So a motion was made by Councilor Levine, seconded by Thronson to pass resolution 2022-50 approving delinquent utility assessments. So this is an assessment, so we are supposed to put $25, and I remembered that, so I wanted to check it out today, and I did, so that's in there. So I'm fine with this, but I would like to see $25 added to each one of the assessments, administrative costs going over, before it goes over to Itasca County.
Okay. And I'll support that for a little bit further discussion. I think we need to include that in this resolution so that they are aware that there's a $25 fee, and then add it to the amounts. So some verbiage added to this resolution that on
Assessment.
November 22nd, we made the
But then
motion.
this was
Okay,
the motion was,
to approve an administrative fee.
looks like it was the 16th, but it was
16th.
resolution 2022-50.
And that would have to go on all the resolutions, right? Okay,
But I just, why not?
yeah,
Okay.
That's why we passed.
okay.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.2, adopt resolution for 2023 lawn mowing and blight removal service assessment.
I'll make a motion to approve that resolution with the same verbiage added into the resolution and the $25 fee added to each amount, and to change the year on that at the bottom.
And does that include adding the specific information in between?
The 25, the verbiage, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. 8.3, adopt resolution for 2023 animal euthanasia assessments.
And again, we'll probably end up doing the same thing.
Mhm. I'll make a motion to approve that resolution with the verbiage added and the $25 fee added in the amount, and then updating the year on that one as well. Do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.4, adopt resolution for the city of Keewatin to make application to and accept funds from IEEE for Pro Glass Technology for demolition and renovation project. Okay, I met with Chris Whitney here this week, and when they did their new addition up there at Pro Glass, the roof was not designed properly, and it's leaking all over, and their panels are all, so they called Pro Glass, IEEE to come in and look at it, see if there's any money to help them out. And what they came up with for them was that they just can't give them money from the roof, right away, give them from fire. But what they did say they could do is give them some kind of a grant for the tear off, because they gotta tear the old roof off, so they'll call that demolition. And then they could get them some help on insulation. There's some kind of grants out there you can apply for insulation.
Well, and it
Bird
also,
grant or something, they said,
Oh, the Berg grant, yeah.
so they can give them something there, and that's it, so. But they gotta come through the city to give them the.
We have to be the fiscal agent, correct?
So,
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve that resolution.
any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.5, schedule a meeting with Nashwauk Public Utilities Commission to review administrative procedures.
Do we want to do that now?
Huh?
Do we want to do that now?
No, I don't think we're ready yet. I think we gotta get
More
our stuff in
information?
a row here more. And Susie wants to look into some stuff. I wanna look into some stuff.
Okay.
The attorney's looking into some stuff, so we don't wanna have to go there, then meet again and again and again. Let's do it one time and get it done, hopefully.
Okay.
Do we
So
need a
we'll
motion to
just
table it?
Put that off till next meeting and we'll have something like
No
that.
action.
Okay, 8.6, approve quote from Roger Online Corporation, $2,950 for security and reliability.
This is for the computer system that's in the clerk's office. And he included in his estimate to you guys that we're required by the League of Minnesota Cities to have the security firewall with us. And then each time that the power goes out, we're having a difficult time trying to get back online, and we have to wait for him to be able to log on in his busy day. So that will alleviate that problem, because it's going to be we currently don't back up like a normal facility, and we knew that. That's why we chose going with Roger, because he facilitates other cities and is used to working with
Because
government.
you're just backing up to a hard drive right now versus the cloud.
Correct.
Which has been a concern for ages.
Mhm.
So Roger is the current tech. This
Right.
is Roger.
Mhm.
Okay.
Rogers Online Corporation. He also is now taking care of the police department. I understand you help them a little bit.
And he's covered by the BCA and everything, so he's got,
What are we paying for your League of Minnesota Cities for insurance?
yeah, what was,
Security, right?
I think it's, well, I don't know what the cost is. You can get $250,000 coverage or 500.
I think we went up to 500,000 last time.
Yeah, I
Pretty
think they did.
I just wanna know like what that, like, what is this covering and what does that cover? And what's the difference?
Well, I don't think this is insurance. It's because when the power goes out, their whole system crashes and
So this
everything
isn't,
gets
like,
broken.
really-
It's not insurance.
I think it's protective
It's not security,
stuff.
then it's like protection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For power outages
Well,
and,
that-
Yeah.
that where you're
It
at.
tells you what he's installing.
Well, I know what he's installing.
Oh.
But it was a conversation, because we were so ancient in the office, and so that's where this came
Yeah.
from.
and having to do that backup in that little box and then
Mhm.
take that and put it somewhere and yeah, it's,
So you're wanting to roll this out like soon? Like really soon?
We need him to come and fix this problem.
Yeah.
okay, I'll make a motion to approve the quote from Rogers Online for the cloud backup system and all the security and whatever, network switch.
And I'll support it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. 8.7, review Minnesota Power Project proposal and maintenance. Okay, there was a power outage up in the new location. I don't know, 4 years ago. They came in, they just did a patch job, and they were gonna finish it, and they were told to stop. They apparently didn't have the money or something at the time. That's what the city told Minnesota Power. So what happened is, there was a bill for $8,000, and it happened so long ago, they're not gonna bill us for it. They took it off the table, because they said,
Never
by
got
law,
paid?
they can't,
You never
they
built
never
it.
billed us.
Oh,
So what I did tell them is we need to finish the job up there. We already had one problem up there maybe about a month ago, I think, Eric, and we were up there. And it needs work. There's some poles that are bad. All things, a woodpecker got in there and ruined a brand new pole. I mean, I never seen a hole that big. That telephone pole gone, but. So we gotta get this done, so we can do it in 2 pieces or just get it done.
so I have a question. It's 8,600 plus 4,500?
Yeah, I believe so. Oh, wait, no, it must be done
It
together.
is, yeah.
Yeah, it looks
They
like,
would rather do the
yeah,
first
1 and 2 and then 3, 4, 5.
What kind of money's in the electrical savings for a payout
Say
like that?
on this. Let me see.
Eric, is there any other thing around town that we need to get done of besides this? Something,
There should be kind of a
Kinda
good amount.
that we should do, been sitting on the back burner? I mean, I don't know.
Something in the Minnesota Power. See, I don't know where we go
Rod.
Is that in the packet?
No.
But I mean, we did
Oh,
clear
yeah,
up
there's
the
100.
problem we had down there. going towards
This
the barn.
is from the
North.
16th, so there's 106.
Yeah,
a
it's in
needed
there.
thing.
Yeah.
And we got that up there, but that's what we're gonna address. We'll have to maybe come summer or something, or maybe even this fall, get it snow. You guys start tree trimming or whatever, that's when I used to do it in the fall.
Yeah.
When we didn't get snow, then you'll see more too, you know, if you got any problems. Listen, because we have to keep up on this electrical stuff.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Minnesota Power to come in and do that. There's 106,000 in the savings, so.
Are we gonna do both projects?
Yeah, when are they gonna do it?
Well, he said they'd have time coming up there. He didn't give me an exact date, but he said, yeah.
Well, that's good then, I didn't, yeah.
So should we approve both?
Yes.
All right, make a motion for both. And to take the money out of the electric savings account at
I'll
Spire.
Do I have a second? Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.8, discuss and approve infrastructure utility easement for Spire Credit Union. Okay, I had talked to Brian earlier about that, and he's gonna get that done for us.
Okay. that's
We
good.
just need to get some kind of a map from them, where it is, and then Brian will take care of it from there.
Okay,
So there's something, you know, on record of all that. There's no way we're gonna know all that went on over there. Well, Luke will know. He'll draw something up for us. So,
Mayor Levine, that was emailed to Spire this afternoon, like at about 2:00.
nice. So when we get that back, we'll take care of that. Do we need a motion for that, or?
not until then.
Okay, 8.9, approve Nuvi for city online payment recommended by Banyan. Banyan, you want to talk on that? or?
I have no idea what it is.
Banyan, included in your packet, is the new, there's 2 pages. They did a cost comparison from Nuvi, from PSN, and it's a recommendation from Banyan to better facilitate the system that we change over.
And is it a cost to do this, or is it just part of the program?
It's part of the program.
Okay.
If you see Nuvi, go down to PCI compliance fee, $9.95. It was
Mhm.
with PSN, it was $14.95. I'm sure you've reviewed it.
But then they're charging us, like the chargeback is $7, the return check,
Yeah.
and those weren't, it was all customer paid for it. So I'm confused on this, I'd like to, I don't know.
What does that mean, chargeback?
Well, they're,
Return check?
all of this.
What does that mean?
When you have a client that writes a bad check, it's a chargeback.
But
The
why
city
are
pays and the customer
Correct.
on the that Nuvi paid. PSN, it was only the customer.
Yeah.
But-
And now it's.
Okay, I'm confused. Payment service network is them paying online.
Right. I mean, if they,
Oh.
their account,
Okay,
Doesn't
so
have
if
the
they're,
funds.
all right, gotcha. Because I'm like, how are they writing a check? Okay, I see.
So here's a big question, because I think this goes back to the previous one with where we're at right now with technology in general, which we know Keewatin is low. With Banyan, does PSN have any issues with Banyan? Like our current system, is there any flukes or anything with this, like, any problems at all?
I'd have to ask Billy that.
Okay. Because I just, when I think about what you were asking for, like with the security stuff, if you're spending multiple hours trying to troubleshoot stuff, at a certain point, a couple bucks doesn't matter when you think about wages wasted. Trying to troubleshoot things that would otherwise go seamlessly if the software was correct.
I
So
would,
I would have that question.
So it looks
Banyan
like,
is your choice of software for all of your public utilities and city
That's what I mean.
infrastructure. I would think that Banyan, as their professional, they know their stuff. And if they're telling you to change from PSN to Newbie,
Mhm.
we should rely on their expertise.
And that's exactly where I'm going with it. Clerk Menke is that if they make a suggestion, they have a preferred reason, they have a reason for that. But
And the cost of the software is zero for us?
I don't see it.
Well, we should still be getting charged like we do with Payment Service Network. We're still gonna get charged if people are going online to pay their bill. So I'm sure we're still gonna get, is it the same price?
That's what that's what I'm trying to figure out, but I don't think. And I don't know what is that.
Oh, it says debit credit paid by customer, 2.75%.
And the other one, it isn't, if the bill is less than 100.
Mhm. And then 15 cents per picked up.
And I don't know what that LPRW charge is. What does that mean? 40 cents per paper?
I don't know.
LP.
PSN is still charging you 3%.
They both charge, that's the thing, is
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
both charge, you're not a flat
If
charge.
they're doing this right, yeah, theirs is 3%.
Well, and they actually
Plus
deposit
less
next
than
day,
100.
so that's kind of nice, where it's not dragging. Like, sometimes when you're trying to balance the account at the end of the month, and people make a payment on PSN, and then your bank doesn't get it till March 4th, and they made it on, it's
The
hard, it's
first.
very confusing to try and balance the account.
It's not frustrating on the customer side too, because if you pay, it should debit out
Yeah.
your account right away. Now
And
we-
that's what, yeah, it says bank deposit next day.
But holidays and weekends
Yeah.
are gonna be
Yeah,
no
little
different than what
Right.
PSN is, yeah.
Would the council like to table this until the next meeting and I can ask Billy to give a summary of what she experiences with it?
So do you know how many we actually have that are bad? I mean, I don't recall having any when I did that.
No, we got them back.
Really?
I'm sure Billy's got them back too, yeah. Not often, but you do get them back.
Okay.
I can think of two.
It's
Okay.
not real.
Yeah, it's
many,
not a lot.
But you get them.
So it's $7 to us and then 30 to them. But then we get $5 less. So it's actually costing us maybe $2 or something. I don't know. If we ended up with one, I don't know.
Yeah, can we table it, maybe
Yeah.
Billy can answer some questions.
What would you like her to answer for you?
Well, I would like to know what that, LPRW is to start with, and,
LPRW.
yes, please. And then, I'm not sure what this contract term, 3 years, then 1 year evergreen.
Well, you must be, it's probably just continually, like, it renews every year, I think is what happens, because it started in 18.
Beth, can you ask
Says.
her if she's had any any issues with PSN and Banyan, any software issues or compatibility issues?
And if this is the same fees for usage that we're getting billed right now with PSN. What are the fees, I guess?
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, then the text messages, I'm not understanding what that is, because I pay on PSN. If I don't pay by the 20th, I get notice in an email saying, so in here it says not available. I'm just not sure what they're talking about there.
I wonder if these are all the features though, and they're just, many don't use them, 'cause
But not available, that just is an automatic. If you don't pay your bill, you get notice.
yeah.
So I'm confused why it says that, and
I
then
think, yeah, I don't.
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I get an email,
You do
even-
too? Okay.
even though I don't even use it.
Oh,
I still get an
But
email.
I mean, I paid, I did.
Oh, and then you
pay
get an email back that you
before
paid.
the 25th, your bill is due on the 25th, they send me something on the 20th.
Mm.
Okay, telling me, oh, you better get it paid or you're gonna be late. That's what, I mean, I don't understand some of the things that are written there, that no charge or not available, so.
Well, and some of this is too, I mean, we can talk about it, but when Banyon's partnering with this company.
Right.
There could be
There's
kickbacks
something,
both ways.
Yeah,
So that's just that, the reality of companies working together.
okay.
All right, we'll table till next meeting. All right, 8.10, adopt resolution to accept donation from Nashua Fire Department, amount of $2,500 to Keewatin Fire Department for equipment.
So moved.
Also for.
Any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. 8.11, review heat share emergency assistance support letter.
How much are they? It doesn't say.
There.
60.
It was 60 before.
In 2022. That's the last time you donated it and you chose the pamphlets.
Yeah,
You
is
can
it the
pick
same
whatever you
price?
want.
That's what I'm asking. We don't have a price sheet. Doesn't say.
Yeah, they gave us an image.
Yeah, we don't have the payment sheet.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to move forward with this if it's under $100. You under,
Mhm.
okay, yeah.
I'll support. And then can you make sure that this gets changed? Keewatin Public Utilities Clerk is Susan from.
She is on a lot of stuff.
Still?
Packages just come.
Packages.
Oh, my.
We receive, please give credit. I'll see.
Any further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. 8.12, approve Insight invoice for a new desktop PC in the police department.
I'll make a motion to move ahead with the new PC for the police department.
Or,
Any further discussion, all in favor?
aye.
Aye, motion carried. Any reports?
Nope, I don't have one.
I have a few things. Okay. Good. Okay, I went up to the sign today, they put the new sign on, but the bottom one wasn't set in right, and they're gonna do some tweaking on it. The top one looks really nice, I was happy with it. And then I also have questions on the police department and their reviews. We haven't done any of them. It's been going on 11 months on one. And I'm not quite sure why we haven't had a review on them, and that was talked about a while back, but, yeah, and then I was handed the paper, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. And it says on their resolutions that it's a 6-month review, as we have put in every new hiree, so I'd kind of like to look at getting that done before their year's up of probation. And then also in our policy, I'm not sure how we're tracking what people are getting trained in. So if they decided to move on in 2 years to a new position, how do we know what they got trained in? And they went to school for this for $2,000 or, something like that. I don't know where we have a log that's keeping it organized per employee because it's so many of them. And so I'm not sure how we're working on that, but it's just something I've been thinking about, not sure how, I don't think we really discussed how we were gonna do that.
I think the only thing we talked about was the safety program and keeping track of the training, and that was something Billy was gonna do at some point.
She does.
For
Okay,
the
for like all the safety training and stuff.
Okay.
I know we talked about that.
And see, and I did.
Yeah,
remember.
this should be
Okay.
something too that's included as far as, like, you're talking like certificate wise, right?
Any of it, yeah, any
So-
certification and,
Mm-hmm. Certifications.
Put that in the employee file.
Okay. It's in the employee file, but is
Okay.
there, I guess
There isn't a log.
we
I
should
just
keep
went
track
back
of
and-
the safety stuff for sure.
Yep.
And a log, because there's annual trainings for everybody and bloodborne pathogens and CPR and all that
She
kind of
is
stuff.
keeping track of all of
Okay.
it.
So, yeah, when we first joined the council, this was a topic of conversation of being able to, and if they're doing it in the office, then we're good, but of being able to document who had what, because there wasn't any paper trail to say Carissa Gibbery had all of this training and she's saying she
From the-
didn't.
mhm.
And there wasn't any documentation for that, so that was part of that, and we reviewed that policy at that time. And it said in that policy that that was a procedure that was, and it wasn't, there wasn't anything there. So maybe,
I mean, I guess it's like, the thing is, what's required? So if we had a list of what's required, then we could keep track of who's gotten it and then follow through that way.
Mhm.
But if it's things that really aren't required, other than the safety stuff, obviously, but
Well, licenses are required.
Yeah.
Any training for office and stuff like that, because the reason of the policy was if they use our money that we paid for them to train
Mhm.
and they go to a new position, that's why we talked about changing that
Kind of
policy.
like the CPL stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So I just have some
Okay.
questions on that, but I'm good with that. Other than that, hopefully the sign will be up this, well, I don't know, it's Thanksgiving, so.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it would have been up before that, but it looks nice. I really, really like it. Electrical has to be done. The other sign has to be taken down, but where are we at? It's
Yeah.
this time of year and it happened late. And yeah,
so there'll be a light up on it.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. And I don't know what's been sent into IRRB for reimbursement and, you know, all that stuff you have to do yet, but
so is
we're
there
getting
any-
there.
Is there any hope of it being done, like, or will it be delayed until the spring?
I don't know about that lighting for this year.
Okay.
I just-
Gotcha.
Once the ground freezes, you're gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't really have them come and do lighting till it's in place, so they know how to beam it on it and, you know what and I'm sorry about it, it's just the way it happened.
Turn one of them other lights.
Everything's running late.
I know.
Someday, but
Turn
Okay,
it.
I met with Chris Whitney, not Whitney, Chris Ismail this week from IRRB, me, Beth, and took a walk to the old bank, looked through that, and we looked at the new bank. He liked what he saw there. He'll get back to me on the bank. He's gonna talk to Ida about it and get back to us to see if she'd come up with anything. They kind of want a decision on that, but it doesn't look like they're gonna be getting out of there till spring anyway, so I don't think it's gonna be a big issue. But, you know, when they're done though, they might wanna tear the other one down, I don't know what's gonna happen. He's gonna look into that, we went to the Legion, looked at that project that we got going there to put food in there, so that all looks good. And good thing is he's a vet, so he wants to help them out. He's got some
he will,
plans.
I was wondering, that's awesome.
They don't
Good.
really have anything like that in IRRB itself, but he can go after like United Way and all these other outfits that they donate to and ask for some help back.
Oh.
So. that's
Because
moving
it's gonna
forward.
bring more employees into, you know,
We
for
met with the
them, so-
Legion guys and he gave them a whole bunch of tips what to do. We might not go with the architect, we might just, he's done these projects before. He said he thinks that we can just go right to a lumberyard Yoder's and they can design it for us at a tenth of the cost, you know, so. Cause it's not that big a deal, they're just adding on a little bit, moving some stuff from one end to the
on
other.
the inside, yeah.
Well, that's all I have. Anya, you got anything?
Sure. We're now OSHA compliant at the fire hall. We all got fit tested on Monday, so should be good to go. That should be put to bed, so.
Very good.
Yeah, it was grant time.
Everybody shave their hair.
Yeah, well, you only have to get so much, you know, they can still keep it close to you, but as long as it's sealed. Because ours come way further underneath, so.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving, to everybody.
I'll make a motion to close this meeting.
For,
Meeting adjourned.
Yeah.
6:18.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to everyone and their families.
you too.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.